Welcome to Life Ablaze. So, my guides have indicated to me that they want to go a bit deeper into the idea of resistance. So, here we go. We are here. We welcome you. We are here today to explore the idea of resistance and acceptance. Now, we, in a previous video, explored the idea of resistance from one perspective, and that is the idea of navigating the path of least resistance. And we are wanting to explore this a bit further, but also from a slightly different angle. And so, the perspective that we are wanting to put forth today is the idea of sensing resistance, and to allow that to lead you into acceptance. So let us begin. When you are engaged in any particular activity, and for one reason or another, you are feeling a bit resistant to this activity, this can and usually does manifest in some form of tension in your body. This is, of course, the first manifestation, the first indication that you are resistant to whatever activity you may be involved in. Now, this is an indication. This is a guidepost, so to speak, that you can begin to explore in and of itself your own nature, your own beliefs, and why, in this moment, you are feeling this way. Because resistance is not your natural state. Resistance is an indication that you are coming up against some type of scenario wherein you have applied an expectation, usually one that does not fit the reality or the situation that you find yourself in, and so you feel resistant. Now, quite often the expectation that you have set forth is something according to how you believe things should be, how you believe things should go, and this creates a tension. Now, this tension that you are feeling, in essence, begins to cut off your connection to your own inner wisdom, to your connection to your higher mind. It is, in essence, if the connection were to be represented as a garden hose, the resistance you are feeling would be a crimp in that hose. Now, this is a exceedingly rudimentary metaphor, but you get the idea. And so, the resistance that you are feeling in that moment is, in and of itself, a choice that you are making that is creating a stronger gap between you and your higher mind. You are not allowing the wisdom that is within you to flow through you easily and effortlessly. You are, in a sense, blocking that energy. The tension itself that you are feeling is the indication of this. Now, let's explore this a bit further. There are many of you in your society who have engaged in many activities that include tension, that you feel resistant to, and yet you continue to do them without investigating why you feel this way, and without deciding to make changes that do not include that feeling of tension, that feeling of resistance. And so, over time, you begin to collect these tensions, depositing them in your body. And these can cause all manner of discomforts and misalignments, all of which ultimately must be released. And as our overriding theme is to come into greater alignment with your higher mind has no resistance to anything. And so, as we are exploring the idea of resistance here, we want to move a bit over to the idea of acceptance. Now, this, in the context that we are presenting, is, for lack of better terms, an opposite to the idea of resistance. Acceptance would be to become aware of the resistance that you are feeling to a particular scenario, and to accept how you feel about the scenario. Now, even this level of awareness will begin to relax your tension, will begin to ease the resistance that you are feeling. It does not necessarily solve the issue, the overriding idea that causes you to be resistant to this, but it can, in the moment, give you more ease and uncrimp the hose, so to speak, and allow the wisdom of your higher mind to flow through you in a greater capacity. This can then guide you, if you are willing, to making choices that are more congruent, to be making choices that are less inclusive of your resistance, your unrealistic expectations. We are not saying that one must accept all negative things and do nothing about them. We are not suggesting this. This is not what we mean by acceptance. Rather, it is the acceptance that what reality is, the information, the scenarios, the circumstances that you find yourself in are what they are. And your relationship to them can change. You can understand them without feeling tension about them. You can feel acceptance of the fact that they are. Because if you are resistant to the idea of, let us say, something that is, in your mind, unacceptable, then in a sense you are invalidating that idea. And if you are invalidating an idea, you are, again, cutting yourself off from the unconditional love of creation, because that undesirable, unacceptable thing, as you have quantified it in your mind, still exists. And it still exists for a reason and for a purpose. And that purpose very well may be for you to gain clarity on making more congruent choices instead of the incongruent ones. And so you would agree that this unacceptable idea, this circumstance that feels unpalatable, unacceptable, is still there for a reason. It is an opportunity for all who would choose to embrace the opportunity to look deeper inward and to explore whether they feel congruent with this idea or whether they would feel congruent with something else, and then to tap into the courage to move from the incongruent activity to something more congruent for them, despite the quote-unquote reasons, the justifications, the rationalizations for staying in the unacceptable situation. And so, when you bring these ideas together, resistance and acceptance, you can see that these are a two-part tool, sides of a single coin, as it were, that you can begin to explore, and you can begin to free yourself of the situations that you are finding yourselves in that cause you resistance and tension, and you can begin to understand why you feel this way and what it is that they are there to teach you about yourself, what they are there to show you about the choices that you are making that are out of alignment with your greater whole, with your higher mind. And you can begin to make choices that are more congruent and to leave these things behind, not to squelch them, not to attack them, not to destroy them, simply to leave them behind because they are no longer relevant for you. They may still be very relevant for other individuals who have not yet come to the same conclusions that you have, or perhaps they have different conclusions entirely, and a situation that is unpalatable for you is perfect for someone else in that particular moment. We will leave you with this for today. And we believe that this will be something that you may begin to utilize in your day-to-day activities. You can open yourself up to becoming aware when you are feeling any tension in your body or in your mind. And you can begin to investigate, why do I feel this tension? And can I relax this tension? Can I ease this tension in this moment? Can I let this go? And you can begin to ask, once you have let it go, why was this tension here? What is it here to indicate to me? And you will find you will be moving naturally into greater alignment with your higher mind. We thank you for this opportunity to speak with you today, and we look forward to speaking with you again. Until next time. Thank you so much.